ZyoniK here, and in today's video we're going to be running a very strong team that helped me climb up to 2575. We are slowly but steadily pushing our way towards a legend. You guys may recognize this backline as well. This backline I found from FP Sticks, a fellow content creator, great amazing battler who reached legend with the backline of Alolan Ninetales and Vigoroth. I saw his tweet the other day and I'll pop it up right here. I'm not sure if he has a video out as of recording this, but I'm sure a video will come. He reaches legend with Jellicent, Alolan Ninetales, and Vigoroth, and he makes a really good point that there are so many darks in the back, that being Umbreon, Sableye, Scrafty, that Alolan Ninetales can just sweep endgame. It's very strong. So I decided to do my own twist on this team with Alolan Marowak, as come next week, Alolan Marowak is going to be banned in the Remix Cup. It'll still be allowed in the Open Great League, but it'll be gone in Remix Cup, so it's time we run it today. Now I want to give a special shout out to my patrons, specifically PW Walnuts. Huge congrats on going 13 wins out of 15 battles with this team, and he says best $1 he's ever spent. I'm happy I can help you get solid wins. Thank you for the support and welcome to the patron community. If you guys want to join and support and get to know these teams ahead of time before YouTube sees it, there are links down in the description to that. But let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this team and these battles. Be sure to smash that like button and let's go ahead and get right into the video. Alright, getting into this first battle here. These battles were very intense, a lot of fun, and GG's to all my opponents here. But we have Azumarill on the lead, a very common lead that you guys will see. So we're going to go ahead and swap straight into Vigoroth, and we are going to see a Medicham now come in. This is kind of tough to deal with considering that Medicham is going to be resisting counter, right, from Vigoroth. But what's great is that Body Slam spam does so much neutral damage. And we want them to throw energy. If they try to commit to the farm down, we might be able to get to 3 Body Slams right here. It's going to be close, but we want them ideally to throw energy. They decide actually to throw energy right there. Face a couple Medichams right here. This one they decided to throw, which is perfectly fine. We can let it go. It's going to be an Ice Punch, and they undercharge right there, which is perfectly fine by me. I can now come in with Alolan Marowak and hard farm down. I want to get a lot of energy right here. I don't really need to fear Psychic. It is going to do a lot of neutral damage, but I don't want to shield a potential Ice Punch, and enough Psychic damage. It's going to be okay. What we want is the energy right here. We want to look to sweep with Alolan Ninetales endgame. So we're going to go ahead and farm down. We're going to throw the Shadow Bone right away against the Azumarill that is going to be coming in. Firstly, to get chip damage off. Secondly, we might get that debuff, and then we're going to swap straight into the Alolan Ninetales and look to charm down. Now, they're not swapping out. This tells me they have something in the back that is weak to Alolan Ninetales, and this is what I've noticed with this team, and that FP Sticks echoed as well. Is that a lot of teams are weak in the back to charm. They're running Sableyes, they're running Umbreons, they're running Scrafties. So if you can run with a Charm Ninetales in the back and get rid of potentially hardest counter, maybe a Galarian Stunfisk, maybe a Melmetal, maybe a Bastiodon, this thing can sweep pretty hard. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and actually I let this one go. We're just going to commit to the farm down, and it is sure enough going to be a Sableye right here. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Weather Ball. We need to get a shield out of the way. I think I should have shielded right there, considering I might be able to farm down, but we throw the Weather Ball, and we're going to go ahead and try to farm down. We still have our shield left, which is fine. We're going to come in with Alolan Marowak and just go for a Bone Club right here, and that'll take out the Sableye, and the Azumarill is also very low. So this is going to be kind of close, but I think we can do it right here. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Bone Club. This is going to be taking out the Sableye. And then the Azumarill in the back is energy dry as well, and we can just go for another Bone Club right here and take it out, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. So this team, again, designed really to sweep with Alolan Ninetales with charming down Vigoroth, putting a lot of pressure on shields. Alolan Marowak can sweep as well, just like we saw right there in given situations. So good game to my opponent, and let's go ahead and move into the next battle. Pidgeotto, what a great name. All right. We have Alolan Marowak on the lead versus Jellicent. Okay, not the best of matchups right here, but what we're looking to do is we're going to try to catch a Shadow Ball on a Vigoroth. So it's going to be 5 hexes to Shadow Ball, and we swap on the 5th hex. But they decided to throw energy right here. We didn't catch it, which means this is probably going to be Bubble Beam, which it is. That's going to lower our attack right here, which is unfortunate, but we are going to see an Alolan Ninetales now come in. This is also pretty good. Let's consider the factors that we have here. We have a Jellicent with less energy than our Alolan Marowak, which means we can do a bit better in that matchup. we have an Alolan Ninetales here that we can farm down with Alolan Marowak, and our body slams aren't doing as much damage. Same with counter, which actually really helps out because we can come in with Alolan Marowak and hard farm. Now, I am going to decide to throw another body slam right here. This is basically going to near take out the Alolan Ninetales, and I might be able to get to another one, but they do decide to throw that energy, so I'll let this go. I was going to try to go for that final body slam to try to get that shield pressure on, but this is perfectly fine, and this is ideal for them. We can come in and farm down. Now, we're drastically ahead on energy versus this Jellicent, so we're going to go ahead and just throw a Shadow Bone right here. We don't know what they have in the back just yet, but getting ourselves shield advantage could be really, really nice. So we're going to go ahead and just go for another Shadow Bone. They do decide to throw their energy, so I'm going to go ahead and shield. Definitely don't want a Shadow Ball to hit me, which it is going to be a Shadow Ball, which is great because now I can overload a bit on energy and go for another Shadow Bone right here. Otherwise, I'd have to bail out if it was a Bubble Beam to clear the debuff because I want this Shadow Bone to land with full damage. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Shadow Bone, swap straight into the Alolan Ninetales, and it's going to be a Venusaur in the back. Beautiful right here. We can come in and throw this Weather Ball. This does so much damage, everyone. We're also going to go ahead and shield this charge move. Yeah. These battles were done yesterday, by the way, so we're going to go ahead and shield this charge move. This Weather Ball is going to do, it just does so much damage. Alolan Ninetales is so deadly in this meta, and we're going to be able to take out the Venusaur. As well, what's great here against Jellicent is a Shadow Ball doesn't do as much damage as you think it's going to do. So what we're going to do is, obviously we don't have any shields, but we're going to have to eat this Shadow Ball, and you guys will see it doesn't do too much damage. We can survive, and we can possibly get to a Psyshock. No, I'm just going to go ahead and throw the Weather Ball right here, and this should do enough damage. Remember, we still have a Alolan Marowak with some energy, so we're going to go ahead and try to swap, but we'll take out the Jellicent right there, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. This team's all about energy management and eliminating the hardest counter to Alolan Ninetales if you can. So we have Alolan Marowak versus Galarian Stunfisk. This is a prime example. This could be the potential hardest counter right here. And what you guys need to do as well with Galarian Stunfisk is be counting the fast moves. Now, you guys saw right there, that was a bit quick. Also, I wasn't able to count, but we know it's going to be Rock Slide. So we don't have to shield. What you guys want to do on this lead is basically you need to shield if it's going to be an Earthquake. That's going to be 8 Mud Shots. But when it comes to Alolan Marowak, you don't have to shield the first Rock Slide because it won't KO. We're also going to swap now into Vigoroth and look to get ahead on energy. Now we're also going to throw this Body Slam right away. They're getting very, very greedy, and even though Body Slam is resisted because of the steel typing, this does enough resisted damage and we take it out. That's beautiful. Now we have Alolan Ninetales with potentially no counters in the back to it, so if we give our shields to the Alolan Ninetales right here, we are looking very, very good. Now they do have a defense form Deoxys, which is always tough to deal with, but we have a lot of neutral damage right here with Body Slam, the Fire Spins, Shadow Bone for super effective, and Charm as well. So we're sitting pretty good. We're going to go ahead and try to get to this next Body Slam, which we can. Vigoroth is one of those amazing investments. I need to replace mine. The IVs aren't the best. It's decent PvP IVs, but it's not the best. I need to replace it, but it's definitely a very strong Pokemon. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and bring in Alolan Marowak, and this is where I am trusting that Ninetales can sweep. Why? Galarian Stunfisk is gone. This is probably their only counter. And they have a Sableye in the back. Alolan Ninetales goes nom 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 nom, taking out the Sableye. Look at that. Absolutely shreds it. It's beautiful. Good game to my opponent right there. But that just goes to show if you guys can eliminate that steal or eliminate that counter to an Alolan Ninetales early, you guys can sweep with it endgame. Moving to the next battle, we have another Galarian Stunfisk right here. Same approach. We're going to go ahead and stay in this fight. We're going to make sure we're counting the fast moves. If they get to 8, we'll go ahead and shield, and we're going to throw Shadow Bone first. Sometimes Galarian Stunfisk don't shield, and if you land a Shadow Bone, you can actually win this lead right here. But they do decide to shield. We're going to go ahead and now swap into Vigoroth. I don't need to shield this charge move right here. It's better to save our shields and catch it for neutral damage on a Vigoroth than have to shield the Alolan Marowak. Now we also see a Pelipper come in right here. So now what I'm reading is a common line of Galarian Stunfisk double flyer. Could be a Tropius, could be maybe an Altaria, could be a Jumpluff, but we know there's a Pelipper right here. So what we're hoping to do is basically try to sweep with Alolan Marowak. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and shield right here. I need to put more pressure with Body Slam right here to take out the Pelipper. I want this to be a 1-0 shield game, so we go ahead and throw the Body Slam, we get the final shield. That's fine by me. Again, Galarian Stunfisk has some energy. I believe it has a Rock Slide right now, and we are also reading that there's another flyer in the back, and we're reading it's probably going to be a Grass. So our sweep is with Alolan Marowak, which means we have to come in with Alolan Ninetales right here and farm down, because Alolan Marowak's resisted damage would not do enough. So we're going to go ahead and come in, Charm down, perfectly fine. we're going to go ahead and bring in the Alolan Marowak here into the Galarian Stunfisk. They're going to throw their energy right here. I will have to shield. Again, it's probably enough to be an Earthquake, and it is an Earthquake. That's a beautiful catch right there, and sure enough, it is going to be the double flyer team, and it's going to be a Tropius in the back. You have to play Tropius very carefully, even though this is a very positive matchup, and we're doing super effective damage. Air Slashes and Aerial Aces really add up, so you got to be careful, and you don't want to over farm or stay your welcome. You want to get this Tropius out of there. So we're going to go ahead and do 2 more fire spins and then throw the Shadow Bone right here to take out the Tropius. Again, the Bone Club right there would be massively resisted. Don't throw that even though it's low. And then we're going to go ahead and look to go for a Bone Club here versus the Galarian Stunfisk, and they decide to surrender, and that is going to be a good battle, very well played. Alright, moving into this next battle. Man, I love Alolan Marowak. Haven't used it in a while because I wanted it to avoid the Remix Cup, but we have Mandibuzz on the lead. This is like one of the hardest walls, the Flying Umbreon. We're going to go ahead and swap into Vigoroth right here, and they're deciding to stay in, so I'm going to go ahead and just start throwing Body Slams. The more health I can chunk away from this Mandibuzz, who is deciding not to swap out, the better. So we're going to go ahead and just chunk the Mandibuzz. We're not going to shield as well. I need to be saving shields for Alolan Ninetales and Alolan Marowak, and we'll have to see what they decide to bring in. They decide to bring in a Hypno right here, which is okay, but it's also very, very tough because our Vigoroth is in a situation where we aren't going to do enough damage with Body Slam to take out Hypno, but they can completely farm us down with Confusion, and you guys know that's very deadly on the back end because it could have a Shadow Ball. That's what I have to look out for with my Alolan Marowak, is it having a Shadow Ball. So hopefully I can get to 1 more Body Slam in time. No, it cannot. That is unfortunate. We have to bring in a Alolan Marowak now. We're looking for an Alolan Ninetales sweep endgame. So we're going to go ahead and bring in the Alolan Marowak. I will shield this first one because it could be a Shadow Ball, but it's going to be a Thunder Punch. So I'm going to go ahead and just start loading up on energy. And my only win condition now is to commit to the farm down and not shield this. Risk it for that biscuit, everyone. If this is Shadow Ball, so be it. But it's going to be a Thunder Punch, which is okay. We're going to go ahead and farm down. Now, Mandibuzz is going to be coming back in. We're going to have to throw it. We're going to have to swap right away. And then we do see a Toxicroak in the back. This is so ideal. This is beautiful right here. We're going to go ahead and just shield this charge move. Obviously, Sludge Bomb would take us out, but this is probably just going to be a Mud Bomb, which it is. We are just going to Charm down right now, save all of our energy for that Mandibuzz in the back, and we get a bit of lag, but the Toxicroak does go down. So we do see the Mandibuzz come back in, and they snuck through a fast move, which is unfortunate. We're going to go ahead and throw this Weather Ball right here. This does super effective damage, gets the shield. We're going to try to get to another Weather Ball. No, we cannot. That is unfortunate right here. So this is going to come down to the wire. So an Aerial Ace barely doesn't take us out. We get 1 more Charm in, which is huge. We're going to go ahead and go for Shadow Bone right here. This is going to be resisted. Same with Bone Club. But Shadow Bone has a chance to lower the defenses of our opponent, which it does. Fire Spin, please. Please, Fire Spin. 1 more. Oh man, Charge Move now coming through. This is going to be foul play. It's going to do super effective damage, but can we hold on? Yes, we can. Simultaneous KO. Hey, good game to my opponent right there. Obviously, it would have been a hard win for them if they shielded the Shadow Bone, but good game. So we have Alolan Ninetales now on the lead. This is a very, very, very positive matchup, and we'll have to see what they swap into. They're going to swap into a Sableye. This is what's beautiful with those Sableye swaps. You guys can come in and chunk now. Be very, very careful versus these Sableyes because sometimes they can get to that return. So you got to be careful about that. Now in this matchup, we're going to go for Psyshock here after charming down. This is going to do a lot of neutral damage and actually put huge pressure on them to shield, which they don't, which means charms are just going to be chunking and chunking and chunking. It does a lot of damage, and I believe I decide to shield right here. Yep, I decide to shield. I'm reading there might be another Dark in the back. So we'll have to see what the final Pokemon is going to be. It's going to be a Jellicent. So this is definitely dangerous. We're going to go ahead and go for the Psyshock right here to do some neutral damage against Jellicent. I was reading there might have been an Umbreon or something, or maybe a Scrafty. But we're going to go ahead and swap into a Alolan Marowak right here. Force them to throw their energy. We still have Vigoroth as well. And as long as they don't have Ice Beam, we can win. So they do have Bubble Beam, which means they have Bubble Beam and Shadow Ball. And hopefully we can get to a Shadow Bone in time. No, this Jellicent had a lot of energy right here. But what's great is Hex is massively resisted by Vigoroth, so it's not going to do any damage. Shadow Ball isn't going to do any damage, and Bubble Beam isn't going to do any damage. So we can just come in with Vigoroth right here, and this is basically going to be a long stalemate, and they do decide to surrender. If I was them, I would have fought it out, but yeah. So next game we have Alolan Marowak versus Azumarill again. Really tough lead to handle, but again we swap into Vigoroth right away. Now we're met with Alolan Marowak. So what am I reading right here? There's a typical team made by Tho Technical a while back, a couple seasons back, I think maybe season 3 or season 4, where it's a Azumarill double ghost. So it's going to be Alolan Marowak and Sableye. Now we go for the Bulldoze right away. We want to get this Alolan Marowak as low as possible or get shields. But as long as Alolan Marowak is out of the game, we're looking very, very strong to sweep with Alolan Ninetales as well. So we're going to go ahead and go for Body Slam just before the Bulldoze. Should have built up to Bulldoze, but I really wanted to just get some more chip damage right here, and they do decide to throw their energy, which is fine by me. So again, we're reading the Azumarill Sableye now in the back. Hopefully we can get to another Body Slam in time. No, we cannot. That is unfortunate. We're going to go ahead and bring in our own Alolan Marowak right here. Obviously, Fire Spins would do so much damage against Alolan Ninetales. And then we're going to go ahead, and I believe I shield this charge move. No, I let it go. It's going to be a Shadow Ball, actually, which hurts so much. But we're trusting in the Alolan Ninetales here. We swap right away, and they're not swapping out. This is telling me that there is an Azumarill or a Sableye in the back. Again, with reading teams, when you see a common core that was created by a popular creator, it's a very popular team. So, for example, the Galarian Stunfisk Pelipper or Azumarill Alolan Marowak, you can kind of guess the third and make your decisions based on that. So we're going to go ahead and just throw Weather Balls right here. We're looking to get shield baits, and we're also looking to do as much chip damage as we can, even though it is resisted. So we do get a shield, which is fine. And now we're just going to go ahead and throw the next one right here. Hopefully this does enough resisted damage, and we will have to not shield, basically, because there is going to be a Sableye in the back. Or we do decide to shield because there is a Sableye in the back, so hopefully we can win the race. So we are going to see that it's actually an Umbreon instead. Somewhat similar in terms of the coverage, but we're going to go ahead and just go for Weather Ball. This does so much neutral damage. And what's great about Alolan Ninetales as well here is that Last Resort doesn't do too much damage, but we're going to go ahead and swap into Alolan Marowak and go for this Shadow Bone right here to do as much chip damage as we can. I may have thrown the game right here. I may have thrown it if they try to farm down, but they went for the charge move. If they went for the farm down, we might have lost. It would have been close, but now their energy is gone. We can bring in the Umbreon, or the Alolan Ninetales right here into the Umbreon. They do have Last Resort, which is barely not going to be able to take us out, and we can Charm down. And this is why Charm is so deadly. If you guys can eliminate that hardest counter, in this case it was Alolan Marowak. In previous games it was like Galarian Stunfisk and what have you. So good game. Alright, Alolan Marowak on the lead versus Politoed. Alright, very, very tough thing to deal with this team. So we're going to go ahead and swap into the Vigoroth, get ahead on energy, and we do see a Granbull come in. A Charm Granbull as well. So what we need to be careful with is that Granbull has access to Crunch, which will do super effective damage, so we need to get shield advantage. We get a shield right there. That's huge. That's absolutely huge for us, because I'm not sure if 2 Body Slams will actually be enough to take it out. We'll have to see how much damage this one does. And actually 2 Body Slams will definitely be enough. So they are going to charm us down right here. And again, they probably have enough energy for Crunch, so we're going to come in with that Alolan Marowak and look to farm down. We don't know what they have in the back, but it could be a hard counter. I actually decided to bring in Alolan Ninetales right there. Man, maybe should have watched these games. But we do see another Alolan Ninetales in the back, which is actually ideal because we're going to go ahead and swap into Alolan Marowak, draw out the Politoed right here, and we're going to go ahead and let this charge move go through. My win condition now is with Alolan Ninetales with energy advantage in the mirror. And shield advantage, so we're hoping to be able to go for a Shadow Bone right here. They may let this go, which we need that added chip damage, and so hopefully they do. Yes, they do. Get that defense drop. No, we didn't. So they're going to go ahead and throw another charge move right here. I believe I let this go. Yeah, I do let it go. We're looking to sweep with Alolan Ninetales. So we're going to go ahead and come in and hard farm down. As long as I have energy advantage and I have an even shield, we should be able to win this matchup because Mud Shots are not doing too much damage right here. And we got a Fire Spin off on the Alolan Ninetales. So we'll have to see how much health it's at. Basically mirrored health, but we can go for Weather Ball right here. It's going to do chip damage. If they decide not to shield, we can win with Charm. They do decide to shield, which is fine, so we're going to go ahead and try to get to Psyshock, but I pull the trigger at the last second to Weather Ball. Get a bit of lag right there, so I miss some of the bubbles, but it's fine, so hopefully Great is enough, and it is going to be enough resisted damage, and that is going to be a good battle, very well played. Again, sweeping with Alolan Ninetales is very strong in this dark, heavy meta. So we have Alolan Marowak versus Altaria on the lead. Very tough lead matchup. We go straight into Vigoroth right here. Counters are obviously resisted because of that flying typing, but body slams really start to add up. And the longer we can keep Alolan Marowak away from the Altaria, the closer we can align Alolan Ninetales to the Altaria. So they decide to swap out, and they swap out into their own shiny Kanto Ninetales, which is really awesome to see. They are going to be going for a Weather Ball right here. I'm going to go ahead and let this go. It's going to do a lot of neutral damage, but we will be able to get to the potential Bulldoze. I decided to pull the trigger a bit early and go for Body Slam right here. I need any added chip damage if I can. And again, we just drew out the potential hardest counter, but we also got to another Body Slam. That is huge right here. Just before that Fire Spin came through, this added chip damage is going to be great. And they let it go! Man, we take it out, so we realigned, and now we can bring in Alolan Ninetales to the Altaria and just start chunking all day long. We also don't want a shield right here. We don't know what they have in the back, but we're going to need 2 shields for Alolan Marowak. So we are just going to commit to the farm down. They decide to swap into a Mew right here. So this is still dangerous, but our win condition now is definitely with Alolan Ninetales. We're going to go ahead and let this first one go through. It is going to be a Surf, so they're probably running Surf and Wild Charge. And we're just going to go ahead and go for the Bone Club. Because we're in an interesting situation, I want to be applying shield pressure right here and hopefully save some energy. So we do get a shield right there, and I need to get to another Bone Club. Barely don't get to it, but I'm going to go ahead and let this go. They decided to throw the energy. Charm is just going to do so much raw damage. Neutral here to Mew and super effective to Altaria. So as long as I shield the charge move here from Mew, we should be able to farm down. Altaria does have some loaded energy in the back, so this is still going to be close. So we are hopefully going to be able to take it out. Yes, we do before it gets to another charge move, and Altaria coming in is going to get deleted here by Charm, and that is going to be a good battle, very well played. Again, showcasing Vigoroth on Safe Swap is absolutely deadly. It's going to put a lot of pressure on your opponents in neutral matchups, and as long as you draw out that hardest counter like we did with the Kanto Ninetales, the Alolan Ninetales can sweep. Alright, so we have Alolan Marowak now versus Azumarill. Again, saw a lot of Azumarill matchups. We do the same thing, swap straight into the Vigoroth right here, get ahead on energy. And we're going to see a Talonflame come in. And what's important here versus Talonflame is you want to time your body slams towards the end of their Incinerate animation. Because it's so long, you can sneak through a couple extra counters. So we're going to go ahead and see them do another one. Now, they decide to throw a charge move. If it's Brave Bird, so be it. We get one shot, I'll boom myself. It is a Brave Bird. Boom! My Vigoroth goes down. Because now the defenses have dropped, we can bring in the Alolan Marowak right here. So, what's interesting about Talonflame, so there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, is that I believe the Brave Bird on the first time is 3, the Brave Bird on the second time is 4, but it's another Brave Bird. Boom! Takes down my Alolan Marowak, barely. But what did we just do, everyone? We just took 2 Brave Birds to the face, so we're going to go ahead and throw Shadow Bone, but we also drew out the hardest counter to Alolan Ninetales. So we swap, and it's actually an Umbreon! Yeah, this is going to be a good game. The hardest hitting charge move now in this game is going to be Play Rough or Hydro Pump here. Last Resort, again, is not going to do as much damage, so we're just going to go ahead and shield the Azumarill's charge moves, and it is going to be Play Rough right there. And we are just going to charm down all day long. This is great for us. We're going to go ahead and throw a Weather Ball right here. We don't want to overload ourselves on energy. We also want to put pressure on them to want to shield with Azumarill. So we do get a shield right there, which is fine. I'll go ahead and shield this next one, knowing that Last Resort is not going to be enough damage to take me out. They're going to have to get to 2, and by that time I should have a lot of damage with Charm. So we're going to go ahead and just farm down the Azumarill now. We're basically at near 2 Weather Balls. We are going to see that Umbreon come back in. We're going to go ahead and go for Weather Ball here. This is going to do a lot of neutral damage, or chip neutral damage basically, and put pressure on them to shield. So they decided not to shield. That's fine by me. I'm just going to keep charming down. Again, this is going to be Last Resort, but we saw that we can actually hang on right here, which is great. It's going to do quite a bit of damage, but we can survive and just charm down. And again, this is what I'm talking about with Alolan Ninetales. There are so many single counter teams to an Alolan Ninetales that you can sweep with at endgame. We got Medicham on the lead. Very positive lead win here for us, and we do see a Bastiodon come in, so we're going to go ahead and bring in the Vigoroth. Now, when it comes to Bastiodon versus Vigoroth right here, I don't like throwing energy, even though we are going to be doing super effective damage with Bulldoze. I like to come out of here with loaded energy. I will shield one Stone Edge because you guys can commit to the hard farm, especially if you get in there right away. If you're behind, they could potentially get to 2 Stone Edges. It's going to be 7 Smackdowns to a Stone Edge. So we're just going to go ahead and farm down. We are going to see the Medicham come back in, but we have 3 Body Slams, everyone. We're maxed out on energy right here. So here's going to be the first one, and it's really going to start adding up. Here comes the second one, and again, what did we just do? We drew out the potential hardest counter to Alolan Ninetales. Now, they might have Galarian Stunfisk in the back, which is also what I'm reading. We're going to be able to get to another Body Slam. This is just kind of ridiculous. So we have to be concerned about that, but we'll have to see what they decide to do. I decided to swap into Alolan Marowak now, start getting ahead on energy, and it's going to be a Politoed. So again, now that we've eliminated the hardest counter to Alolan Ninetales, that being the Bastiodon, the Alolan Marowak can just go for Shadow Bone. It's okay if I lose this matchup because I know Alolan Ninetales can sweep. So we're going to go ahead and let this charge move go through and then just sweep with Charm. It's just so deadly in this current meta. And we can get to another Shadow Bone, but they decide to go for back-to-back Weather Balls, which is fine by me. Alolan Marowak is going to go down. And we can safely just come in and farm down. We're going to come in with the Vigoroth, though, and try to get to a Body Slam to force them to use all of their energy right here. And then now that it's energy dry, we can bring in Alolan Ninetales and farm down. And that is going to be a good battle. There is really nothing they can do. Again, Hair Flick, Alolan Ninetales is just so strong with the meta right here. So yeah, good game right there. And I believe this is going to be the final one here. So we have Sableye on the lead. All right, tough matchup. So we're going to go ahead and swap into the Vigoroth right here. This is kind of a weird matchup because both are doing resisted damage, but we do see Azumarill come in. So we're just going to go for Body Slams. We're going to look to possibly win this switch advantage because we know how deadly Alolan Ninetales is to to Sableye. We want to try to align that up. So charge move now coming through. We're going to go ahead. I think this was 7, so I'm going to go ahead and shield, and it's just going to be an Ice Beam, which is unfortunate. So hopefully we can get to another Body Slam right here, another 2 Body Slams, which we can. And again, we're looking to win this switch because there is that Sableye in the lead. We do not want a Alolan Marowak lined up to it, but we also have to be conscious that the Sableye does have potentially return because it is purified, so we're going to have to watch out for that. We're going to go ahead and go for this next Body Slam. We get another shield, which is fine by me, so I'm definitely going to go for switch right here. I'm going to go ahead and shield this next charge move. No, I don't. What? Okay, I risked it for the biscuit on that one and got the Ice Beam. They decided to swap into Sableye, which is fine by me. Ideally, right there, I probably should be shielding and look to win, but that's okay. They messed up. I can align the Alolan Ninetales right now and just farm down. This is all good. All hunky-dory here. So we're going to go ahead and shield. This could be a return, but I don't think it's enough, but I do decide to shield. And it is going to be a foul play. So that's a miscount by me, but that's okay. We keep Alolan Ninetales healthy. And Azumarill is going to be coming back in, which means it has no energy. And we swap into Alolan Marowak on the charge move because I know they're probably going to go for a Play Rough or Ice Beam right here. And it is going to be a Play Rough, so we catch it for resisted damage. We are going to be able to farm down the Azumarill. We have loaded energy. We'll have to see what that final Pokemon is going to be. It's going to be a Meganium, which is beautiful. We're going to go ahead and go for Shadow Bone right here. It says neutral damage. They're going to have to shield, otherwise Weather Ball is going to take them out. And they do decide to shield, which is fine. Defense drop as well, so that's huge. They also have to throw the Earthquake right here. I'm one Fire Spin away from that Shadow Bone. So if this is an Earthquake, which it is, that's perfectly fine. Alolan Ninetales has Weather Ball, and this is going to do super effective damage, and that is going to be a good battle, very well played. So in this case, they actually didn't have a hard counter to Alolan Ninetales, and it would have definitely swept either way. And that is going to be a good battle, very well played, and I believe that was my final one, yeah. Climbed up to 2575 right there with this team in a day. Basically went up about 100 rating, was just under 2500, and then shot up to 2575 in a couple sets. So really good battles to my opponent. This is a really great team. Shout out to FB Sticks again for the backline of Alolan Ninetales Vigoroth. I'll put links down in the description to his video, which I'm sure he's dropping soon, or he may have dropped it already and I just haven't seen it this morning, but it'll be down there. Go check out his channel. Go check out his Jellicent variant to this team. It's incredibly strong. He climbed up 500 rating with it and got to legend. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.